Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the random questions tag. So I did ask some of you guys to send me questions and I would answer them, and I decided I would do them while I'm drinking wine because those are always entertaining. And if you guys are watching this and you want to drink wine, then pour yourself a glass so we can drink it together while you watch this. I did ask some of you guys on Instagram to send me random questions. I don't have like a large following, so I really didn't expect that many questions, but some of you guys did actually come through with some questions, so I'm gonna be answering those. Jill Valerie _ asked, how old are you? So I'm 27 years old, and I know that might be a surprise to some of you guys. I don't know if you guys think I look young or old or whatever, but most people tell me that I look younger and are shocked to find out that I'm 27. I'm even shocked myself to find out that I'm 27. I'm gonna be 28 actually in June, so it's coming up, so I'm more 28 than 27. I was born 1990. What is your sign? I am a Gemini and I'm super proud of it. I know a lot of people assume bad things about Geminis because they are supposed to be two-faced or whatever it is. Like, I don't know why people have this misconception because it's double personalities that you're two-faced. Like, bitch, we're not two-faced. Like, we have two different sides. But I don't know about you guys, but my boyfriend is a Gemini, my sister is a Gemini, and my best friend was a Gemini too. So for all I know, Geminis are pretty fucking awesome. So I don't know, we're not crazy. I feel like it's kind of true though. You do kind of have like two different personalities, and what it means by that, I feel, because my boyfriend the same way, is that in one part you could be like really calm and like quiet and everything, but another section of you is more like outspoken and outrageous and whatever the hell you want to say, a little more wild. So I feel like that's really true. So I think it's kind of cool how you can turn them off and on. So if you guys do meet another Gemini, do not think they're crazy because we're actually pretty cool. Okay, it says, what do you believe in? It could be anything. And I believe in true love. I know that sounds super generic and basic, but I feel like I really believe in true love, and I've always believed in it, and I've always had really high hopes for it, and I've always like put my mind to it, and that's probably why I feel like I have the person that I have right now, because he's almost exactly what I would want in a person, like pretty much exactly. And I feel like a lot of people don't believe in true love because they don't let themselves get to that true person that's for them. So like, for example, like there's people that are like, fuck love, love hurts, this is what love is, and they're in relationships that are like shit. It's like, well, you don't allow yourself to get to that person because you don't allow it. You know, you're either not like strong enough to move on if they treat you wrong or stuff like that. Like, you kind of stay. So I feel like they don't get to their true love, and that's probably why people don't believe in true love. But true love does exist, and it's never too good enough to be true. Like, whatever you wish for and ask for is not too much. So just always keep that in mind and always believe in true love, because I know I do. Like, even if it doesn't work out with me and my boyfriend, even then, like, I would still try to continue, because then I would just think in my mind like, okay, well, he was not my true love. So that's the way I see it. I don't know about you guys. Okay, it says, what are your roots? So I am Hispanic. So my parents are Mexican, and both of my parents were born in Mexico. My mom is from Jalisco and my dad is from Colima. So that makes me Mexican American because I was born here in West Covina, California. What's your favorite kind of food? For sure, I think it's Mexican food. I really like pastas and Chinese food and all that stuff, but I would have to say that my favorite food is Mexican food. I mean, I grew up with it, and I don't know, I just love everything about Mexican food. I pretty much like any Mexican food. There's like a few dishes that maybe I'm not willing to like eat, but for the most part, I like everything Mexican, and I love rice and beans. And it sounds really generic, but it's like, that's how bad that I love Mexican food, that even rice and beans is fucking bomb as fuck. Okay. Alright, so someone said, where do you find your inspiration? Chola.treats asked, where do you find your inspiration? So I find my inspiration not from other people, really. I already answered this question in another video. Pretty much I get inspiration from like patterns and print. I get a lot of inspiration from magazines. Like I literally have a subscription to 17 magazine, and the reason why is because that was always my favorite magazine growing up with. Like as far as like the design of it and the interaction that you get from it, I feel like it's my favorite magazine. Even though I'm not 17, there's something about the way that they design that makes it like so inspirational, and the outfits and everything. Like I just love everything about that magazine. So magazines get me inspired so much, especially with design and graphic design and everything. They just inspire me so much, and just looking at tears and everything, like I don't know, a lot of that inspires me so much. A lot by music, and when I'm driving around and I like hear a lyric or something about a word or something stands out, that's how I get inspired. But mostly it's music, magazines, and also patterns, like patterns from the 70s and all that. I really like the color schemes and the harmonies and everything, so I look inspiration in all that stuff. And then also I do have someone that I am inspired by, and she's a graphic designer, and she does like 70s inspired, psychedelic, 60s, I don't know, super cool artwork. Her name is Harley and Jay, and I will put her Instagram right here because you guys should follow her. Literally I follow her and I look at her stuff and I'm like, oh my god, like I wish I can be her. I wish I can have that mind. And her artwork is so like simple, but like I don't know, you guys just have to see her and see what I mean. Like I'm literally, when I see her pose, I'm just like, dude, like I wish I was like that. Like she's so talented and her mind is so creative. So I get inspired by stuff like that. Who's your retro and vintage muse? Mine is Debbie Harry. I don't really have like a retro or vintage muse, but I do get inspired a lot from women in the 60s or 70s and stuff, because like, or vintage times, because I feel like a lot of them just used their natural bodies. Like they didn't have any really enhancements. They just walked around bare with their face and they rocked it, and it just looked so pretty. And like they had bushy brows and like wispy lashes and all that stuff, and they were just natural and pretty, and like natural like rosy pink cheeks and everything. So I get a lot inspired by that, and like how I said, their bodies were natural and they weren't enhanced. Like everyone was just so like positivity about their bodies, and no one really enhanced their bodies, and I get really inspired from that. So like very minimal makeup and all that, like I really do get inspired by that stuff. She also asked, did you ever have a problem spending too much money on makeup? Yes. So it wasn't too crazy because I've always been kind of smart about makeup, but I remember at one point I was buying makeup over and over and over again. But now I've gone to the point to realize that even though you buy the makeup over and over again, like your looks are still going to be the same. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you don't have to keep spending money when you have like a colorful palette that you can create so much shit with. Like, I feel like you really have to explore. And when I put that in my mind, I was like, okay, why the fuck am I buying the same shit over and over and over and over again? Like, I feel like when we buy a new palette or something, we think like we're just being creative, if that makes sense. Like, we're thinking in our head like, oh, I'm being creative, I'm being more creative by buying this. And it's like, that's not always the case. Like, it ends up just fucking stacking up, and now you're like fucking $60 in for no reason. It's like, so I actually never really been like too crazy about it, but I know I was like at a point where I kept wanting and wanting, but I did slow myself down with that because again, I have priorities, and you know, like you can't be spending your money like that, like, and makeup adds up really fucking quick. So I did have a point like that, but I really stopped myself once I thought about it like that, and I was like, okay bitch, you need to chill. Okay. She also asked, how do you control the size of your collection? Well, it kind of goes with hand in hand what I'm saying. So I feel like I'm not like buying certain makeup's not going to make me be any more creative, and just you can use multiple things for multiple things, if that makes sense. Like, you know, you can, like, if I didn't have like if I didn't have colored like brow stuff, I'll just use mascara or something, like, or if I didn't have eye primer, then I use concealer. Like, it's the same shit at the end of the day. So that's pretty much how I control it. And knowing that obviously I could be creative, have I really done everything with this palette that I could to be creative? You know what I mean? So that's kind of how I tell myself. So that guy 13 asked, how do you have a perfect booty? Laugh out loud. Okay, That's my boyfriend, if you guys didn't know. He literally fucking asked this question right here. I don't know if you guys can see or not. So, I have a perfect booty. I don't know. I think it's because it's like a natural round butt. And I think it also looks like really perky and everything because of my size. But yeah, it's a California grown natural butt, babe. That's why that's a perfect booty. He also asked, how's your boyfriend so lucky? Well, my boyfriend's lucky because I'm lucky too. So there's your answer, that guy 13. So now I'm just pulling like random questions. So it says, what is something that is really popular now, but in 5 years, everyone will look back on it and be ashamed of? Okay. To be completely honest, I feel like all the fucking enhancement that you're doing, so all the people doing their ass like fucking huge, like to where like it doesn't even go with your body type, I feel like that's really popular right now. And I feel like you're gonna look back and be like, what the fuck was I thinking carrying a fucking poop diaper around? Like, that's literally how it looks. Injections, like if you don't have lips, that's fine, but there's a lot of girls that I see that have lips, like they're full and they're still getting a shit ton of lip injections. It's just like, why are you doing that? Like, it doesn't look right. Like, it looks botched. Like, it looks like this. Like, I feel like that's something that some people will regret, and I've seen some people actually already regret it. So yeah. What food did you hate as a child but enjoy now? Onions, dude. It's not a food, but like I remember I used to hate onions. I didn't even ever try them, but I think it just because they smell, you're kind of like, what the fuck, I don't want to eat this. But onions are bomb. Like, they fucking make something extra. Like, it's crazy because as a kid you don't think that. Obviously you're not looking for taste like that, but onions is like something that I really like now. I always ask for onions on everything because it really does make a difference. Do you follow your horoscope? No. Honestly, you guys, I've fucking tried to, but I just feel like it's full of shit. Like, the horoscopes nowadays, like, I feel like back in the days they were better, but now it's like, it says like fucking Mercury and fucking Uranus and Venus are gonna meet at the twilight of fucking Earth, and then the sun will rise. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what the fuck does that mean, dude? Like, they're not fucking clear. And it's like, I get that it's a horoscope, whatever, with the stars, but can you just fucking have like the alternate translation? Like, okay, like, you're getting fucked tonight. It's just like the fortune cookies. Like, you know, you open those fucking fortune cookies and before they were actually a fortune, now it's like, oh, like, you people see you as a gift because you're kind. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's not a fortune, bitch. Like, I don't know. You guys fucking agree or not? What food would you be willing to eat for every meal for the rest of your life? I do not want to answer that question. I feel like that's way too much fucking pressure. So I'm not going to answer that one. Something that is considered socially acceptable that you do not approve of. Okay, so. Okay, these are just questions that are being asked of me. You guys, for the most part, I don't really give a fuck what people do. Like, I do not care. As long as it does not affect me, I do not care. So please understand that when I say this, I'm not taking it to attack you. If you do that, that's fine. I'm not the kind of person that's gonna comment and be like, oh, that's wrong. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't put my 2 cents. Like, you do you and I do me. But if I have to choose something, I feel like something that's socially acceptable nowadays is showing your nipples. And okay, it's all with this feminist shit. Like, okay, that's fine. Feminist shit, whatever. But like, at the end of the day, like, you putting your nipples out in public, like, not everyone sees your point of view, and you can't force people to see your point of view. So you putting your nipples out, like wearing a sheer shirt with no fucking bra and your nipples clearly fucking out, like, I don't know, I feel like that's a little disrespectful to other people. And yeah, fuck what people say, but you also have to be respectful to other people because all people are not assholes, like, you know. And like, I feel like it's really wrong. Like, if you go to a club or bar or you're fucking having a party and, you know, you have your invited guests, okay, that's fine, like, do it, I don't give a fuck. But like, if you're out in the street, like on broad daylight, and you're doing it just because of you, and like, there's a little kid and his son, and like, you know, there's a little son and like his father and the family and a grandpa, like, do you think it's okay for you to fucking have your nips fucking flashing them? Like, you just walking by? Like, it's not nice. So I feel like, to me, that's not really socially acceptable. Like, if you want to do it at a party and all that, then that's fine. But like, I just don't get why people have their nipples out when there's like people that are making them, you're making other people uncomfortable, and I feel like that's not right. So That's just my opinion on it. What is something unusual you recommend everyone to try at least once? So honestly, I would say to take yourself out on a date. And I know a lot of people say that shit, but I feel like that's so fucking healthy. Like spending time by yourself and taking yourself to eat by yourself and sitting at a table without the urge of grabbing your phone, or without you actually grabbing your phone, and just literally enjoying like dinner with yourself or lunch or whatever, and just like looking in your eyes, like, you know, like being entertained by your own eyes. You could even take like a notebook or stuff or whatever you have to do, but I just feel like everyone should really try that. And I feel like once you do that and you're actually comfortable and you don't need a cell phone, then you're like truly finding your happiness in your solitude. And I feel like solitude is so fucking important. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about that. So I would definitely recommend spending your alone time. Which movie do you like so much that you can watch repeatedly? Dumb and fucking Dumber. I love that movie, you guys. Like, I fucking love it. I actually had a frame that had Dumb and Dumber on it right there somewhere. Actually, I think it's in the restroom or something. But I love that movie so much. That movie makes me so happy, and every time I watch it, it's hilarious. I don't know if you guys ever seen it. Obviously, you probably have. It's a really classic movie. But I don't quote any fucking movies ever, and that's literally the only movie I quote. I quote everything for that, and me and my boyfriend have watched it so many times, and we always quote each other the movie. I just really love that movie, and I always watch it. And another one is Blow too. I love that movie Blow, and I really hate long movies, and I'm not usually interested in movies like that, but I just like the way that it was filmed and the time zone that it got placed in, like, and then that's kind of like by 70s. Like, I don't know, I just really like it. Like, they even used to call the women stewardess back in the days. Like, everything about it I just love, and Johnny Depp was a really good character, and I just like the whole movie. And I really like movies that are based on real life experiences, and I usually watch that one, and that one's like 3 hours, and I actually will watch it. So those two are my favorite ones for sure. So another question that I get asked a lot is, what thrift stores do I recommend, or what thrift stores do I go to? So I feel like that question's kind of hard because it just really depends on your area. And to me, I go to all thrift stores. I've told you guys before that I'm not a fan of Goodwill, and I really dislike that one, and that's like the last one that I'll choose to go to because I feel like it's really overpriced, it's generic, and I don't like how they have like a flat rate on everything. Like, oh, all shirts are $3. Like, what if it has fucking a shit ton of holes? Like, you know? So I personally don't like Goodwill. You can still go to Goodwill though. There's nothing wrong with it. I still go sometimes, but my favorite thrift stores are the smaller owned thrift stores or your local thrift stores. I feel like those are the best thrift stores. I feel like big thrift stores are a little overhyped, and I feel like a lot of people go to those when they think of thrifting, and to me, like, that's not really thrifting. It's kind of like your idea of thrifting. So I would recommend going to small ones, but for the most part, the ones that I actually go to in my area are called Great Deals Thrift Store, Axe Thrift Store. I know there's one in Pasadena as well, and I like the smaller thrift stores that are like owned and the profit goes to like pets or like animal shelter and stuff. There's one around here that goes, whatever your the proceeds go to animal shelter. I really like that. So I like all those smaller ones. I just feel like the smaller ones are more relatable, if that makes sense, and they have a lot more variety. Not that many people go to it, but my suggestion is to actually just try going to any thrift store. Does not have to be the one that I go to, you guys. Like, that's what I feel like some people think, that like, oh, like, what thrift store do you score at? It's like, you could score at any thrift store, like any thrift store. It doesn't have to be the same one that I do. Like, it's literally any thrift store. And if you want to actually go to a thrift store where you score all the time, then you're gonna find places like Buffalo Exchange. They do the work for you. Depop for thrifted stuff, they do the work for you. But if you want to find something on your own, it's gonna be one, cheaper, and two, more exciting. But it just depends. Like, are you looking to go to a thrift store expecting to already find something? Like, you gotta be with an open mind and think, hey, I might not come out with shit, but is that gonna discourage me? No. So it just really depends on you and your mentality, and that's my advice, is to go into thrift stores hoping to find something, but more than likely, if you don't find anything, okay, fuck it, you go to the next one. Like, it's not gonna be that easy to thrift if you don't have the patience for it, if you're just not put up with it. And that's fine. If you're not up for it, you can check Depop, you can go to Buffalo Exchange, you can go to Deluxe, like places like that. those are cute options too, and sometimes I'll go in there, but just remember that they're finding stuff thrifted and they're making a profit off about Depop. It's a really good option as well. People usually sell thrifted stuff on there. They do sell them expensive, but you take it or leave it. I mean, once in a while you can find cheap stuff. I sell it on there, so yeah. So like for example, like this shirt, the Harley Davidson, I got it literally for a fucking $1, guys. And I found this at a thrift store. I think it was it's not Salvation Army. Is it Salvation Army? I think so. I think that's what it's called. But I found this, and okay, if I seen this shit on Depop, they sell it for like $30–$35, and I got this for $1 just by me actually doing the work. And I don't think it might not be original, but fuck, I don't care, for $1. So yeah, and then this is gonna be the last question I'm gonna answer. So it says best relationship advice. So the best relationship advice I can give you is to communicate, because communication is everything in a relationship, and what you feel you have to be communicating. So everything is about communication. Oh, and not to force anything. So if someone doesn't want to be with you, someone doesn't want to commit, just don't force it. Like, let it happen, and if it's meant to be, it's gonna happen. You can't be forcing things to happen. If you guys have more questions, or if you guys want me to do like a chit chat video or more questions, then let me know. Please a thumbs up this video if you guys did like this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for being here. And if you're just catching me now and you want to subscribe, please hit the subscribe button, because I want to get to 5,000 followers in a couple weeks, and I'm planning a little giveaway, and I want to do multiple prizes, not just one, so more people have more chances of winning. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.